Hi, my name's Esmeralda Núñez, and I'm going to be taking a radical look at my life. And I want to illuminate social reality on mental health. I will be briefly sharing my mental health issues, I guess. And so my hope with sharing my experiences is that others feel more comfortable or aware about mental health. I think that as college students, we deal with a lot, and talking about our experiences where we don't feel our best is an important conversation, and it's healthy. In today's society, it's easily common to falsely believe that people's lives are perfect and that they're all rainbows and sunshines, especially through social media. So, learning to be self-aware and step back when needed is an important life skill. And so, I'll be sharing a few trigger warnings. So I'll be talking about mental, psychological health. Depression, anxiety, suicide. Just an FYI. So I want to start with a brief introduction of myself, where I come from. So I've been told it's not obvious, but I come from Mexican immigrant parents. A group of women in the collage of pictures with the orange background. Those are my aunts. That's my grandma and my mom and my cousin. And the rest of the pictures is of me and my mom. I'm extremely grateful for her, extremely blessed. I love her. I don't know where I'd be without her. She's my rock. I'm a business administration major, and I'm trying to go into education. Just throwing that out there. I don't think not that many people know. Those 4 pictures on the bottom left and bottom right are locations where I have lived for most of my life and have impacted me greatly. I was born and raised in Bell Gardens, which is a city in Los Angeles County. I lived there up until the end of elementary school, and then I moved to public housing projects in East Los Angeles and South Central, Imperial Courts and Ramona Gardens. That's what the public housing projects were called. I lived there towards the end of middle school, and then I moved to Bloomington in the Inland Empire, Bloomington, California, in the Inland Empire, and I finished high school there, and I found more peace and tranquility in Bloomington. With living in these areas, mostly low-income communities. So with living within these communities, you deal with hidden disadvantages, with adversities, challenges, structural trauma, communal trauma, personal and familial trauma, and even historical trauma. And like everyone else, they're trying to move up Maslow's hierarchy of physiological needs as discussed in class. We're trying to reach self-actualization, love and belonging, our safety needs, money. But in order to get there, the most ideal way to get there is to address our traumas. And it's not like, PTSD. Some of it isn't post, some of it is still occurring. And it's really unfortunate that not everyone has access to this information. They don't have the resources to get help or treatment, whether it be meds or therapy or more holistic methods. it's mental health is important. So luckily for me, I was really blessed. I had my mom and my older brother's support. They helped me get through my traumas. They helped me get the help that I needed. Personally, for me, I had to go on meds. I fell into a state of psychosis. The causes are drugs, trauma, injuries, or illnesses. But yeah, I was diagnosed with major depressive and anxiety disorders, and at my breaking point, I fell into a state of psychosis. Some of the things that I was doing to combat my anxiety and depression while I was staying at my on-campus apartment was guided meditations before and after bed. Those would help me control my anxiety attacks, my panic attacks, my anxiety in general. I would paint as well. It would help me let out whatever I was feeling. It was a really good outlet. It still is. I enjoyed a lot. Unfortunately, my mom sold all my paintings and I lost all the pictures, so I cannot show them. But I really enjoy painting. When I was able to get out of bed, I would go on morning runs. They would really give me a boost and help me out a lot. But it was a big challenge getting out of bed. Towards the beginning of me feeling my mental health decline, I was reading several self-help books, and they helped me to a certain extent in understanding my challenges, my adversities, and how to deal with how to better control my emotions and my thoughts. And that goes along with meditation as well. It helped me control my thoughts and my emotions better. But at the end of the day, I had unresolved traumas that I think I needed to talk with like a medical professional, and I was abusing substances. So here I want to talk about a few images that I took while I really felt my decline. And my decline really happened during the year of 2020, transitioning to the year of 2021. And my breaking point was like a month after New Year's. So the first image, it's a picture of Compton. I'm at the rooftop of the house that I used to stay in. I briefly remember having a horrible panic attack in this home towards the end of spring quarter. I was sharing this home with 10 other people and had experienced sexual assault on multiple occasions at that point. The overwhelming amount of emotion I felt during this time was really hard to swallow. It was at that moment that I knew I needed to find a more stable place to continue my studies. And it was a very, very dark time in my life. I wanted to disappear off the face of the earth. So the next image is actually a picture of my on-campus apartment that I had at the time of fall quarter 2020. I took that picture towards the end of the quarter. not sure if you can see it that well, but taking the picture from inside my room towards the living room, there's a couch and there's some lights on the wall. It's really not much, but I was sitting on the floor like I usually do to calm myself down, and I remember feeling very mentally and emotionally unstable. I had just moved into the apartment, and it was supposed to be a new chapter in my life of healing and prospering. I had finally acquired a space of my own where I could be at peace. And I lived there for around 8 months, I believe. No, just kidding. It was probably a little bit less. But initially when I had moved into the apartment, I was doing a very good job in taking care of myself. You know, I was doing my meditations, I was going on my morning jogs, I was painting, and I low-key had a lot on my plate. I was on my grind. I was trying to keep up with everything, with my extracurriculars, with my academics, with my jobs. I knew I needed professional help. I had just gotten into a toxic relationship at this time as well, and my unresolved traumas had resurfaced. So yeah, I knew I needed help, but I was uncomfortable with it. The next image is a monkey hanging on my curtain, or the bar of my curtain, in my old apartment. It's the same one from before, just a different area of the apartment. And I was just trying to hang in there. I remember I took the picture and I related to the monkey a lot. I was just trying to hang in there. At this point, I was ignoring my problems. I was just trying to finish the quarter, winter 2020. Like I previously said, I was trying to balance everything. But my mind and my body had other plans. They decided to tap out. So that was the last picture before I lost my marbles. The next image is of my great uncle's dog, and he really, believe it or not, dogs are real ones. He really helped me when I was feeling at my lowest, and everyone looked at me crazy. So yeah, his name is Choco. I took a picture of Choco after I had recovered from my hallucinations, which took around like 2-3 months, and I had received my diagnoses from my psychiatrist in Mexico, and I was starting to process everything that had just happened, and I was still feeling very low, but I was ready to build myself back up again. I was not able to complete winter quarter 2020, and I had to take the rest of the school year off so that I could ground myself again and to get the help that I needed and that I felt that I needed. But ultimately, I learned that no matter how resilient one might be, your body and your mind remembers trauma, and it needs to be addressed, or else it just gets worse and it can make your life unbearable. So that's my radical look on mental health. Thank you.